All right, guys, I'm back. I'm to the point where I'm going to start mixing my mud. So just a few things I'm going to point out real quick, because if not, you guys are going to point it out to me. So if you notice, there's more holes in that. Well, I goofed up. Those are 12 by 12 plates, and I had this 12-inch number stuck in my head, and that's 12-inch sonotube, which I should have got 16. Why, you ask? Well, it's that hole and that hole. Should have measured off, not that and that. So so I couldn't go diagonal like I wanted to, so I had to turn it, go on a diamond like that. Realistically, it's not going to hurt anything, and it'll make it easier to adjust that post, because all I do now is a front to back and a side to side. So anyways, that's why it's like that. Same with this guy. So my bolts will be just like that, and whatever, it'll work. I've got rebar down in there, and like I said, not much down in that one. I extended my J-bolts with that hooked rebar. So that guy was a little loud. And I've got the rebar tied to the J-bolts and kind of hooked out there. I probably don't need it, but it's not gonna hurt anything. So that's that, and it goes down probably 24 inches in that 30-inch hole. This guy, kind of same thing. See, I extended my J-bolts down with that rebar, tied it. Now, I'm not a rod buster, guys. There's a lot of tie wire on here, but I'm not a concrete guy at all, as you can see. But so I bent this stuff, right, made my square. I'm 2 inches inside my form all the way around, and then this is going to be out front, so that sticks out a little more. I can kind of free flow out here, but I got everything tied. Had these crossbars in here, there, tied them to my J-bolts. Everything's pretty secure. It wiggles a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start mixing mud, and I'm going to fill that dude up until I get to the point where I want this to set. Because once I get it with mud, it'll fit those that rebar, and those J-bolts will push right down in there. So I'm gonna get it to where I want it, set that guy in there, get it to that height, and then pour up the rest of the way to the top of those boards. Oh, there's a little lizard. Get out of there, guy. Come on, get. Okay. So, and then in the bottom here, before I start putting any mud down there, I'm gonna throw some dry premix down there. I don't like putting dry premix in holes. Some guys do, they dry pour and whatnot, but I'm only gonna do about, yeah, that's a blister. Hey. I'm gonna do about 3 inches down in the bottom of that, only because this is sand, and water, you know, goes right through sand. It just, you know, falls right through it. So I don't want my mud drying out right away, because I got to do 2 bags at a time, and I'm pretty slow, and my water bucket's right there, and I got to haul it from over there. So hopefully by putting about 3 inches of dry premix in the bottom, it'll slow that water down, and it'll slowly go through until it hits that. I don't know, tell me what you guys think. Was that the right thing to do? Was it not? I'm sure everybody's got a point of view. So, and then like I said, I've got this open because I'm going to pour it flat and then taper it down, and I'm going to try to meet this line right here and just get it sloped down, and then if there's any water that wants to flow, it'll have this ditch right there go on by. But that's that. All right, well, I'm going to put the camera down. When I get to the point where I'm going to put that rebar in, I'm gonna turn the camera back on and get you guys so you can see, but you don't need to see me mixing mud. Okay, catch you back. All right guys, I got a little mud left in here, so I'm gonna try to be quick. I poured it to where I wanted. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can set you. I got some 80-pound bags, man. It is 80 pounds is heavy. Well, it's not heavy, but after a while it gets heavy. So we'll see if I can set you somewhere where you can watch this foolishness take place. I don't know, so I apologize if you can. I think you can see it over there. Perfect. It started to set up a little bit down there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it got down to a point and it kind of popped through, so that's good. Let me just twist the guy back up. I just want to see how we are on center. So I'll put the string back up, because in the end we want that to remain centered. So I got that where I like it. So I'm gonna let me finish pouring this, and then we'll make sure of our height and everything. But I just want to make sure that that sat right where it needed to be before I buried it too much. All right, put you down, we'll get back with you. All right guys, I don't know if you can hear, I got the welder running my cement mixer, and I don't know if you can see in there. Hopefully you can. I mean, I like to think that's a pretty good consistency. I try to keep it right in there. Depending on the application, it depends on the consistency or slump, if you will. What technical terms is concrete's measured, the consistency is measured by what's called slump. So I put it in a tube, from what I understand, and fill it up like a foot, and then lift the tube off, and however much it squeezes out, like settles and squishes out, that's the slump. So a 4-inch slump, it's going to be pretty stiff mud. 8-inch slump, it's going to be more watery. So, and like I said, depending on the application, from what I understand, that is it. So I don't know what that is, but that slump is going right in there. So I'm going to put you down real quick, and then I'm going to show you something afterwards. We're almost done, guys, actually. This might be my last pour. Boy, I think that's it. Which is good. I am not a fan of concrete. All right. what I'm doing, guys. Just trying to get all my last little bits out of here. We got quite a bit in there. Man, let's see what we got. Oh, we got a sorry guys, I'm like got the camera everywhere. Let me just try to okay. Whoop, missed that. Just kidding. I know it was out, but real quick, you know, I'm just gonna leave that there real quick. Okay, let's take you back down. Okay. If you're done with your mud, I always go right to cleaning. Okay? Because you have to clean this guy anyway, so don't let that stuff harden up inside your barrel. Okay? It's a no-no. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I wouldn't suggest it. Just like I wouldn't suggest sticking the finishing trowel inside a mixing bucket. Right? All right. Try to wash all this off, but here's what it is. Okay. So, well, that's kind of, well, that's mixing. Let me plop you down real quick again. I apologize for all the movement going on. But right, guys. So, got my center line back up. I'm a little off there. It moved over somehow. I must have had it caught over here or something, or just, you know what? I'm imperfect. So I'm pretty well centered there. Now remember, I've got to be to center, 17/8 and 5/8. So I'm gonna hook my tape measure. I hooked it there. So on the other side, I'm gonna bring it to the inside. Remember, outside to inside equals center to center. And I'll show you. So we've still got pretty good center line there. The holes in the base are going to be a little bit bigger anyways than this 5/8. I should have had probably 3/4 inch J bolts, but sue me. Actually, don't sue me. And that would be bad for my business and for me and my family. No reason to. So let's go check down here. Okay, well, we got pretty well centered there, right? Our string line don't lie. Oh, you know what? There we go. That did it better down there. Okay. So this guy needs to come this way. Up a little bit. Okay, perfect. So outside to inside. And we're at 17/8 and a half. You know what? That 1/8 of an inch, I don't know about you, but I can live with that. 17/8 and 5/8. So 17/8 and a half, I'm an 1/8 inch off. I'm not gonna sweat it because I'm already sweaty. I don't know if you wanna look at this or not. See, look at that, nasty, just nasty. So I'm gonna put the camera down and I'm gonna get kind of clean it up real quick while this stuff sets up, and then I'll finish it and we'll come back to you. All right, guys, all done. So got it all edged, got my edger out. Now when you're using an edger, just if you haven't done one before, your first couple passes you're going to be moving your aggregate, your rock, whatever you want to call it, out of the way. So you're kind of pushing it down. Then your following passes, you're going to bring that cream up and smooth it out, fill in any holes, because as you push the rocks out of the way, there's going to be holes, so you got to fill them in. Then you take your finishing trowel and you finish it. What I did here, if you notice that little ditch coming out from under there, I did that because in the bottom of this, on my base plate, I've got since it's a steel post, steel base plate, there's a lot of humidity out here. So that thing doesn't get filled up. I doubt it ever will, but just so it drains, I'm gonna cut a hole right here, and or drill a hole actually, and then and since it's been welded all around, you can fill on the bottom side of the plate after you weld it like I did. The plate pulls up, right? And it tends to have just down just a little bit here in the middle because it's pulling on all sides, right? So it's got on the back side, it's kind of got this convex, yeah, because inside would be concave, I believe. But if you put a hole here, it's now a low point. It's got a drain hole. So if any condensation builds up in your gate post, fence post, whatever, it'll drain out. Well, I always give it a little place because I'm going to come in here and put some grout in there. I'm probably going to, and I'll just put like a little tube or straw in there and something, pack it with grout, and then after it's set up, I'll pull it out. So it's got a tiny little hole so it can just kind of weep out. Is that necessary? I don't know, but I like to do that. Well, I was cleaning up. Well, let's go to this side first. See, did the same thing over here. Oh, there's a rock. Okay. And that's a nice segue into my other point here. I was cleaning up because you got to clean up, moving dirt around. Had a nice little finish on it. And I kicked sand and gravel on it along with some pine straw. So instead of refinish it, I just took my broom out and I put a broom finish on it, guys. Broom finishes hide a lot, and really, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. So I did the same there. You see the little ditch. So that's that. So Monday I'll pick up with you guys again and put these guys in, and I'll show you some tricks that I like to use, and then we'll go from there. So as I come up here, I got 3 extra bags of Quikrete. So that means I didn't have to go back and get any. So that's always a good thing. It's always good to have a little extra than not enough. So my calculations were correct. Well, kinda. I had too much, but that's fine. Like I said, always err on the side of caution. Get a little extra, because you can always return it, get your money back. Okay guys, I'm happy that this part of the project is over. Although I know how to do concrete, I've done it in the past, water treatment plants, sewage treatment plants, big structures. I don't like it, so it's not my favorite. But that being said, if you're starting your own business, you want to get into something, you might have to take on stuff like this. I know on fire welding, cutting edge engineering, IC weld, Ross welding, them guys have they've got a business built. They do a lot of, Austin does kind of a little more fencing and stuff like that, but the other guys seem to stick to heavy equipment. It's fun. They've built that business, and one day I hope to get there like those guys. Maybe not Curtis with cutting edge. I mean, I'd like to get to his level, but I don't know if I'll ever live that long. But the other guys either. I mean, they're all great at what they do. So I really appreciate Isaac with IC Weld. He's a very humble guy, and like his sense of humor. I'm not saying I don't like the other guys, but so that being said, you might have to take on stuff when you start that you don't necessarily like, but it's good to do. It leads to other things. It's money coming in, and it's good because you can, as your business grows, you can build it how you want it. And if you like doing these little jobs and everything else, then keep doing them. If not, well, as work comes in and you get bigger, then stop doing them. But who knows? My business might consist of heavy equipment and trailers and stuff like this, a little bit of everything. So I've done some excavator thumbs, and haven't got any good video of it, but I've got some good pictures. But hopefully if I get a pretty good project coming up on an excavator or something like that, I can tune you guys in, and we'll see what we can come up with. But I'm getting better, I think, at this video stuff. It's all new to me. I'm not one for talking into a camera or putting my face on a camera or doing anything. So hopefully I can instruct you guys and provide some instruction or some tips or whatever. Or maybe you guys just find it comical that I think I know what I'm doing or something. I don't know. But hopefully you guys like my videos. But we will see you on Monday. Today's Friday. I'm going to let this stuff cure on the weekend. And then Monday morning comes around, we're putting these guys on. So I'm going to take those base plates off, and then I'll drill them corresponding to the correct gate post. But we'll get in that on Monday. But have a good weekend and stay safe, guys. All right, guys, as promised, it's Monday morning. Here's after everything's all cured up. Looks pretty good. I was worried, you see we got some rain out here, so I was worried about the finish. You know, I knew it would have set up quite a bit before the rain, but you still never know. Rain does have that destructive effect on damp concrete. So I'm gonna go and pull these forms up, but it looks pretty good, right? I think so. But this is why I'll do forms like this on small things, because it takes very little to get them up. See, look at that edge, guys. That looks pretty good. I don't see, I mean, looks pretty good. If you ask me, not a lot of, there's really no honeycomb. Actually, looks pretty good. Oh, totally missed that one. That's pretty good. Something like that. There it is. All right, let's do this one now. So my next thing I'm gonna do after I pull these guys up, I am going to pull those templates off there. Yeah, pretty good. So when you guys pour concrete in a form like this, if you're not familiar with it, you'll have air pockets sitting along the boards, along the forms. Always tap the forms. If you got a hammer or something, when you got your concrete in there, tap the forms. It'll work those air bubbles out and get them filled with all the cream and, you know, all the stuff you need in there to fill them in. You're still gonna get some air bubbles in there, just because that's how it is. Especially if you do things like I did here and just, you know, don't use proper form material or form oil or anything like that, so the concrete doesn't stick to the wood there. But that's, you know, but I think it looks pretty good. It got a nice little edge on it, right? A little rounded edge. That's pretty cool. Something like that. But anyways, go back to what I'm gonna do. Let me just pull these. If I get this done, I'm gonna pull these templates off, get them to the right post that I want to use, and I'm probably just gonna torch them out, guys, to be honest with you. I don't know. Beats having to drill everything out, right? That could be covered up anyhow, but I don't know. We'll decide. But let me get this all cleaned up, taken off, and then I'll get back with you guys. All right.